Do you trust news media? Are there some news outlets that you trust more than others? In this video, I'm going to talk about how much or how little Australians trust news media. All the data that I talk about in this video comes from the Digital News Report, which you can find in the description. So what do Australians think? Do they trust the news? Short answer is no. About 40% of Australians said that they trust the news most of the time. This is down from last year, when about 43% said they trusted the news. Also, the number of people who say they distrust the news is increasing. We can see the long-term trend with this graph. The yellow is the percentage of people who trust the news. The green line, I'm going to call it green, is people who say they distrust the news. And the blue line is neither trust nor distrust. So over the past 8 years, we can see that the trust in news has been hovering around the low 40s. But we can also see with the green line that distrust of news is growing over time. While that was about trusting news in general as a whole, people will also ask about their trust in their news, in the news that they choose or like. Naturally, the trust in the news that people choose for themselves is higher than news more broadly. Though still only half said that they trusted the news that they follow, that they choose, or that they like, their news. So where does Australia sit compared to other countries in terms of trust? Well, we're basically in the middle. Australians trust their news more than Hungarians, French and Koreans, but far less than people in Finland, Denmark or South Africa. The Digital News Report goes into some pretty good detail when it comes to demographics and the different levels of trust between different sections of society. I'm not going to talk about all of them here, but just a couple that I think are interesting. One thing I think that's interesting is that women trust news less than men. And as we can see here, women's trust in news has been going down. It's gone down for the third year in a row. People in regional areas trust the news less than people in major cities. There are different levels of trust between people of different education levels, though I think it's not too much. It's interesting though that the people with medium levels of education trust the news least, less than people with low and high levels of education. In case you're wondering what low, medium and high levels of education are, check this out. This is from page 5 of the report. Basically, a TAFE diploma or higher is considered high education level. Finishing high school is medium, and finishing school at year 10 or lower is considered to be low level of education. So which mainstream news brands are most trusted and which are less trusted? Well, SBS wins out. It is the most trusted and the least distrusted. And ABC comes just behind SBS, and that is followed by local newspapers basically. And what do you think it says about the Australian news media environment that a foreign news brand comes in at number 4? The BBC is Australia's 4th most trusted news brand. The Daily Telegraph, the Herald Sun and Sky News are the 3 brands that had the lowest level of trust, and Sky News is the most distrusted news brand by a pretty wide margin. Which news brands do you distrust the most? Let me know in the comments. And remember to read the full report, check out the links in the description. Cheers.